The morning show's over.
I got a 16-year-old daughter. She has to have her energy drinks.
But they're still talking.
It's a thing, huh?
Definitely a thing.
It's Liz and Scotty's Poddy.
Hey, thank you for checking out Liz and Scotty's Poddy. I'm Scotty. Liz will be along here in just a minute. And this is one of those poddies that comes about just from a discussion that we had on the radio. It started early in the morning. We came across a story about kids and energy drinks, and we had no intention of spending the morning talking about it, but all of a sudden we started getting phone calls and text messages, and it's one of those things that just kind of lasted throughout the morning, so we wanted to share it with you here. So not too much setup. We'll just start with you where we started on the radio. Today's Best Country Clear 99, Bailey Zimmerman, Luke Combs, backup plan. I don't know if this is a big deal or not, but it seems to me like maybe it is, or it could be. The UK plans to ban the sale of energy drinks to anyone under 16.
Oh, wow.
Does that seem like a big deal?
I think so, yeah.
Do kids drink energy drinks? I mean, is that a big thing with kids?
Yes and no. I think I've seen stories where kids get in serious medical trouble because they've drank too many energy drinks. So I assume that's a thing.
It seems to be a growing segment of the drink population because it seems like there are 4,000 different kinds.
Yes.
We've got in this building, maybe in your building too, got 50 people walking around with an energy drink, and none of them are the same.
Correct.
I mean, everybody's got a different brand and a different flavor and all this. So it doesn't seem like something that is shrinking. And I was just curious about whether the kids drink them or not.
Yeah, that's a good question. That's kind of, good for Britain.
It seems like a good thing. I have zero, information to the science and all of that. It seems like they are not the best thing for people to drink, but I'm not going to sit here and judge. I don't know.
When you're reading about a teenager having a heart attack because of an energy drink, then there's definitely something that could be potentially wrong with them, especially for the younger kids. So might as well just nip it in the bud.
Do you got one over there now, or you just?
I try to only drink energy drinks before I go work out, and I don't finish the entire can. Okay. I try to play it safe.
Today's Best Country Clear 99. I'm sorry, I'm so intrigued and fascinated by energy drinks. Energy drinks intrigue me because they really weren't around when I was a kid. And I understand not everything is generational. I always kind of come at it with that when we start one of these discussions because it gives us a place to start. But I realize that I'm sure people my age are drinking energy drinks. But it seems that it's something that I just never kind of got into, but I see Liz drinks them. And a lot of people in this building drink them. And my question a little earlier was, do kids drink them? Because I don't spend that much time around kids 16 and under, but I would assume it seems to me like one of those things that kids would enjoy, but I don't know that. Is that the case?
Yeah.
Kids today are much more health conscious than I was growing up, so do they think about this? We're talking to our friend David Rowe at D-Rose, who tells us this younger generation doesn't drink like my generation drank. They've got non-alcoholic beers and mocktails and all this that the younger generation is drinking more of. So it seems like there's more of a health conscious feel for younger people. All of this kind of feeds into this discussion to me. Am I crazy?
No.
Is the UK banning these for kids 16 and under? Is that a big deal or not?
I think it is.
Okay.
And I was a little bit on the fence earlier this morning if younger kids drink them or not, because when I was growing up during high school, middle school, I don't remember seeing energy drinks a lot. I'm sure they were out there, but it's definitely ramped up since then. And we've got text messages saying, I see middle schoolers carrying them all the time, high schoolers, so on and so forth. So I feel like it's a big deal.
Yeah, my name is Sean, and I just wanted to call you. We were just talking about energy drinks.
Yeah.
I got a 16-year-old daughter, and she has to have her energy drinks before school. And she gets a Red Bull once a day, and she drinks this stuff called Alani. There's a couple different brands that she's got to have, and it's Halloween right now, and she wants this Alani Witch's Brew type Halloween type energy drink. So it changes, but as far as teenagers wanting energy drinks, I think they're infatuated with them.
It's a thing, huh?
Definitely a thing.
All right, very good. We appreciate you letting us know.
Yep, have a good day.
You too. Alani, do you drink Alani's? I feel like I've seen this.
Yeah, Alani's are my favorite.
Okay.
And the Witch's Brew are the best flavor, and I got a pack of them the other day.
Okay. It just so I was walking out of the studio. Our trash can is right by the door. There's an Alani can over here, and it's not yours. Somebody else in this building drinking that. So, okay, interesting. And as far as banning them, I don't really have a position on this. It seems to me, how do you ban these things and not ban Mountain Dew? You know what I mean? Is there anything?
Yeah, I think there's more ingredients in an energy drink that are supposedly bad. I don't think it's just the caffeine that they're looking at when it comes to banning energy drinks for teenagers.
Okay. All right.
That's just my opinion.
All right. So Alani is your go-to brand.
I do like Alani, yes.
All right. we threw it up on the Liz and Scotty Facebook page. Just curious, what's your go-to energy drink? If you are an energy drinker, just kind of add to the conversation. We'd love to hear from you. You can call or text 800-455-5257.
So I have the kind of not fun mom hot take on it. As an avid lover of energy drinks, because I do, they're not great for people in general, and they're really not great for kids just because of that level of energy and then the marketing that's involved with it, because they say things like boost metabolism and immunity support, and it's not quite how that works. It just makes you feel better and more energetic, and so kids are more likely to keep up with things like that because they don't even consider what else it's doing and what else is in there. So we have a strict thing of it's only for special occasions when a kid has to get up at like 4:00 in the morning for a special project. But on the day-to-day basis, they're not allowed to have it.
Liz brought this up off the air, and we were getting ready to talk about it on the air. The marketing of it is another thing that a lot of people, including you, have issues with it, especially when it comes to kids, right?
Yes, especially when it comes to kids, because a lot of these newer energy drinks are marketed as, quote unquote, like she said, healthier options. I got intrigued by Alani when they first hit the market because it was being marketed as a healthier alternative to Red Bull. And I was like, oh, Red Bulls are so bad for you. Let me try these Alanis. This is the perfect alternative. And you look at the ingredients, and the ingredients are the exact same.
Right.
So you just have to be very, very careful. And that's where obviously the kids get it too.
It reminds me of, have you ever heard of Jamba Juice?
Yes. Yes, it's exactly like smoothies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jamba Juice used to be when malls were a big thing, and you would always find these Jamba Juice. And I don't know why I thought it was a healthier option or if it's something that was marketed that way.
Yeah.
But in my mind, you thought, oh, maybe just because it had juice in the title, and all of a sudden we got people out there, gaining 60 pounds. Well, I don't know why all I ever have is this Jamba Juice.
Yeah, but you're putting so much sugar into your body all at once and you're not feeling full. I think the UK,
like yogurt, like frozen yogurt. Oh, this is much better than eating ice cream. Here, let me eat 4 tubs of this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The UK is so far advanced when it comes to food and their regulations on food than we are. I think eventually we will probably get to the point where we have to show an ID for these energy drinks if enough kids get sick in the process.
Really? Well, it's kind of like the whole coloring in foods and like the cereals and stuff. That's something I never in a million years. And when I first see it, I'm like, oh, what are we worried about that for? It didn't seem like a big deal, but then, more and more it seems to be becoming a big deal. That's where I'm getting to, where I'm talking about some of these younger generations, the ones that don't drink like we did. It feels like the younger generations are becoming more health conscious, which is why I wondered, are they drinking the energy drinks too? So there's just a whole bunch of things.
It really is. Yeah. But then you can go back to the marketing of it.
Right.
Because energy drinks are so new and so hot right now that kids might be getting fooled by the marketing of it and being like, okay, it's an all right product to be having and to be drinking throughout the day, when in reality it's probably not.
All right. This is one of those places where we need to wrap this up, but I've got I was telling Liz about Mountain Dew. The way Mountain Dew is marketed now and the way it was marketed when I was a kid, completely different. But we'll save that because we've talked long enough. Thanks for Getting going with Liz and Scotty in the morning this morning. Today's best country, Clear 99. Luke Combs seems like an energy drinker to me.
Oh, for sure, like a monster kind of energy drink.
Something he's carrying around with him in the studio. It's Luke, and back in the saddle, we're talking energy drinks this morning with Liz and Scotty in the morning.
We just got a text message saying my generation had Mountain Dew as an energy drink.
Yeah. And it's fun. I was telling Liz, when I was a kid, settle in. When I was a kid, Mountain Dew was just another soda. It was not marketed as something to give you a boost. And this is one of those marketing kind of studies a little bit. And you lead with the customer. What does the customer? You find out what the customer wants to give them that. Mountain Dew was just a lemon lime soda, just like Mellow Yellow or any of these other ones. But the people drinking it started using it and talking about, it picks me up because I don't, however much more caffeine or sugar it's got, I don't know. And believe me, I'm a reformed Mountain Dew drinker. I used to have 2 20-ounce bottles in here every morning.
So crazy.
That was one of my hangover cures in here. But it was just a regular soda, but then people started drinking it as, this picks me up. Mountain Dew, listen to their customers. Now, obviously, it is promoted that way and marketed that way, and you got your 74 different flavors of it. But yeah, when I was a kid, it was just another lemon lime soda, just like anything else.
I wonder when it shifted, because when I was growing up, my parents would never let me have Mountain Dew because of the caffeine in it.
Really?
Because of the caffeine factor.
Yeah, I don't know when that was either, because I remember when I started, and I didn't drink it. We didn't drink a lot of soda anyway in our house. So not to get started on this, but I've told Liz, soda was like a treat at our house, and we got it on Sunday nights. Mom and I even laugh about that now, because Mom keeps a 12-pack of Diet Coke in her refrigerator. We drink it all the time now. It's not, but back then, so I don't know when that shift was. But I don't know. For Mom, it was as much about money as it was about sugar, or it wasn't in the news every night about how much sugar is in these sodas. So I don't know that we knew. And even my parents knew. We weren't paying as much attention to those sorts of things. So, I don't know. We started this because the UK is talking about banning energy drinks for kids 16 and under. And it opened up just all of this discussion that, I don't know. I find it fascinating because I just don't know that much about energy drinks. I just see it seems like everybody but me drinking one. So, you haven't had one over there yet this morning.
No,
You don't drink them in the morning, do you?
No. I try to limit my energy drink consumption to, if I'm going to work out, I use it as a pre-workout, and I drink a little bit of one before I go work out. Okay. That's where it's a treat in my eyes. I don't drink it every single day because I can feel the effects. My heart starts racing. Like with coffee, I don't feel any difference. But with energy drinks, immediately, this first sip, I'm like, okay, it's in my system. Yeah. And so that slightly scares me a little bit. But then again, it also gets me geared up and ready for a workout. So it's a catch-22.
And here we go with moderation again. And I'm sure this is what scares some parents, that if a kid has an energy drink once in a while, it's fine. But if a kid is walking around all day constantly with an energy drink in their hand, that's probably not a good thing.
Yeah.
Where do you draw the line? It's blurry. That's part of what makes it interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Again, I don't want to get into, I guess, I don't want to get on a pedestal because energy drinks are fun and I drink them too. But also, you're so right. It's the moderation factor. And that is what we struggle with regardless as Americans.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Portion control, caffeine.
Whether it's soda, whether it's calories, the
list goes on.
Yeah. Don't talk to me about moderation. Lord.
With Liz and Scotty in the morning.
We've been talking kids and energy drinks this morning, and this visual just ran through my mind. You remember seeing video, I guess they're still popular, you see a video on TikTok, Instagram or something, of a little kid eating ice cream for the first time or something, and then their eyes just light up and they go reaching,
yes.
for it. In my mind, I'm seeing that as kids drinking an energy drink for the first time. It's just been a wonderful discussion about that this morning. Thank you so much. A lot of great calls and text messages from parents and this sort of thing. It's a serious issue, obviously, but also some fun stories to kind of go along with that, too.
Yeah, Lee just texted. She said, so to put my 2 cents in on the energy drink issue, back when my kids were young, they were never allowed to have energy drinks. But when my son was around 14 or 15, He was playing in a baseball tournament, and he had played several games in a row and was pitching. He was exhausted, so I let him have one. The first hour was great, but then the crash came. Oh my gosh, it was like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And then she put in all caps, "Go to sleep and no more energy drinks for you."
So those were some of the discussions that we had on the air about energy drinks and kids, but there were a bunch of comments and text messages and that sort of thing that we did not get to on the radio. Especially, it seemed like, Liz, the text machine started lighting up when Mountain Dew entered the discussion. Am I right about that?
It definitely did. Kelsey commented, "I'm not big on energy drinks, but I have to say my go-to quote-unquote energy drink is a Mountain Dew. As a teacher, I get crazy looks when others are drinking their morning coffee and I'm over here cracking open a can of Mountain Dew."
Yeah, that's funny.
Beverly said, "I have one bottle of Chocolate Boost in the morning and it tastes like chocolate milk." Now, I had never heard of that brand before.
I hadn't either. I was going to ask, is that a drink or is that a soda?
It sounds more like probably like an energy shake, I want to say.
Okay.
Maybe something like that.
Okay.
But she said, "Speaking of Mountain Dew, I love Mountain Dew and always have, but not necessarily for the caffeine or the sugar. I just like the taste. So for a really long time, I bought the caffeine-free Mountain Dew, and now I don't think they even make those anymore."
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I used to try a caffeine-free Mountain Dew. I'm sure I enjoyed the caffeine. That used to be my go-to in here in the morning. I had coffee, but I always had at least a 20-ounce bottle of Mountain Dew. And for me, it was the bubbles. And to be quite honest with you, since we always try to be honest with you, this was back in the days when I was nursing hangovers pretty much every morning. And that always kind of affected my sinuses, and that burning of Mountain Dew down my throat just really helped in the morning. And then the kind of the bubbles of it as well. So I'm sure I appreciated the caffeine in some way, but to me, it was just about kind of cutting through the gunk in my throat. And then the bubbles as much as the caffeine. So.
Well, and then we got one more text message about Mountain Dew. This one was kind of a reminiscent of their time in high school. They said, "Way back when in high school, we had a lounge where there were vending machines stocked full of Mountain Dew and Doritos. I think we might have funded the Blair Oaks athletic program through those vending machines."
You know what? Now that person mentions that, we used to have soda machines and snack machines here in our building, and I completely forgot about that until just now.
Oh, wow. That's so funny. To me, even as a 31-year-old adult, vending machines are still very much fun.
Yeah.
I love hitting a couple of buttons and watching the snack fall.
And you mentioned something earlier this morning, and I can't remember if it was on the radio or off the radio. You were trying to think of what was your caffeine drink when you were a kid, and that got me to thinking about it. I didn't have one. Because I did mention that soda was a treat that we drank on the weekends. I'm trying to think, what did I drink? And because in our day, kids weren't walking around with water bottles either. There were water fountains, and you asked the teacher if you could go to the water fountain, but the proliferation of people walking around with water bottles, and I think it's great for kids to have that. But I'm like, what did we drink? And I'm like, I guess we didn't. I don't remember really there being a drink that we had. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just, you waited until lunch or between classes, you drank at the water fountain, and that was it.
I was kind of the same way. I think we started carrying around water bottles more when I was in high school, but other than that, I did not consume any caffeine. I started consuming coffee a little bit when I started working at a coffee shop when I was like 16, 17 years old. But up until that point, I maybe had a soda here or there, but that was it.
I don't remember when it was, but I do remember when all of a sudden, just in everyday life, people started walking around with the plastic water bottles that you would buy. And it always makes me think of this great George Carlin line, the comedian. Mm-hmm. He was talking about everyone's walking around with water bottles. He said, "When did we as a nation become so thirsty?" Every time I think about the water bottles, I think about that Carlin line. Okay, and I really don't want to name drop, but Liz, I know you will appreciate this.
Okay.
I just got a text message from Carissa from CMT. Carissa, formerly of Clear 99 and formerly of Helias High School and grew up in Jefferson City. She was listening online this morning.
Oh.
And she says, enjoying the energy drink conversation. I thought of Carissa this morning. I'll explain why. Let me read her text first. Enjoy the energy drink conversation. I drink Celsius instead of coffee every day for 2 years, and then eventually it wreaked havoc on my gut, and now I can't drink any of them. Most of them are not healthy. They've got some other kind of fake sugar in there, which can be worse than real sugar. And I definitely will not be letting my kids have energy drinks. I just feel like the caffeine addiction doesn't need to start that young. They should have natural energy. They still have metabolism, for crying out loud. And I thought of this because I mentioned earlier we were talking about colors in cereal. When I first saw it, I'm like, what's the big deal with that? But Carissa is one who I have seen post a lot of articles. And I mean, this is something she's really been into as a mom, and she's done a lot of research. So I've been thinking about her this morning because of this discussion. And then I looked down and she sent us a text message.
That is so funny.
Anyway, again, name drop. Look out. Anyway, that was a great discussion. So thanks to everybody who participated. And if you missed it, thanks for revisiting it with us here on a Liz and Scotty's Poddy. And we were very excited to have some Yellowstone news to talk about this week because A, we love Yellowstone. B, we're really looking forward to the 2 spinoffs that are coming. And C, it's just an excuse to play the music. And we really like the music. And it started this week. Okay, just to kind of catch people up, there are 2 spinoffs coming. Basically, we've just been referring to them as the Casey spinoff and the Beth and Rip spinoff. And we got news about both of those this week, right?
Yes. First, the Casey spinoff, which is called Why Marshalls. Now, this one is going to be airing on CBS. And we kind of got a premiere date, and that being spring of 2026.
Okay.
So we have to wait a little bit longer for this one. But we got news about cast. So we do know, obviously, that Casey's going to be involved, but we now know that Tate, so Casey's son, is going to be there. Mo and Rainwater will also be a part of this series, which is really exciting. I loved those 2 characters from Yellowstone.
Really, really good, yeah.
But unfortunately, it looks like Monica, Casey's wife, is not going to be a part of the show. So we are very intrigued with how that storyline is going to take place.
Yeah, sad to hear because, number one, I thought she was really good at that character.
Oh, yeah.
We liked the character. You had mentioned this week when we were talking about it how their family's story just really came to a nice conclusion for the end of Yellowstone. And so it kind of looked like moving forward that was going to be a nice thing. But I can't imagine that they kill her off.
Right.
But maybe they do because you can't imagine that maybe she leaves Casey and leaves him with the boy. She's going to want her boy. You know, just, I don't know. I don't even know where to go with it, but it'll be interesting to see.
I do hope, though, that they leave the door open for her character to return at some point.
Yeah. So we'll find out. And again, it seems like a long time, but as we've said, we've waited longer for Yellowstone season. So we've got that to look forward to in the spring. Now, there's also the other one, the Beth and Rip spinoff, which was last week we learned that Annette Bening is going to be joining the cast. And I think she's going to be like a rancher, right? She's going to be like a Texas rancher. Found out this week that Ed Harris is going to join the cast. The name of this show, by the way, is going to be The Dutton Ranch. And we knew Beth and Rip were going to be on it. And we knew that Finn Little is the actor's name, but the kid that they took in, kind of their kid, found out he's going to be a part of the show too, which is good. But Ed Harris, which is another really good actor. So you think, okay, good. They're putting some money. They're putting some effort into this. It should be a good show. Now, Liz and my minds separately both went to, ooh, he's going to make a great villain on the show. Not the case. Ed Harris is going to play Everett McKinney, a seasoned veterinarian known for his compassion and humor. Did not see that one coming.
No, that is more of a shock to me than the fact that Ed Harris is even going to be a part of the show. But after talking about this and after thinking about it for a few minutes, I honestly think this is going to be a really cool role to see Ed Harris in.
And do we know, is this going to be a Paramount Plus thing, or do we know yet? Or okay,
yeah, this is Paramount Plus.
Okay, and in a sort of related story, because it's another Taylor Sheridan show, Liz and I also love Mayor of Kingstown. I saw the trailer. Liz hadn't seen it yet, so I was very happy to share it with her. The next season, is it season 4?
Yes.
Is coming before long. And we found out that Edie Falco is going to be on the Mayor of Kingstown. And the trailer looks really good because she is going to be, it looks like, a no-nonsense warden of one of the prisons that Jeremy Renner's Mike has always been running. And she looks at him and says, "You don't run this place anymore. I do. Are we clear?" And you're like, woo! Dad, I mean, you thought, like, that looks good. So if you haven't seen that trailer, go dig it up. If you're a Mayor of Kingstown fan, if you're not, who cares? But for those of us who watch the show, that looks like it might be a good addition.
Yeah, we're really excited. That one premieres October 26th. And then the new Landman season is coming out in November. So our schedules will be chock full of Taylor Sheridan shows.
Yeah, all that football and Taylor Sheridan. I'll see you next spring. Hey, thanks so much for searching out and finding Liz and Scotty's Poddy. We don't do them very often. When we do them, and I said do, when we do them, you can find them where you find your other podcasts. Just search for Clear 99 On Demand wherever you get your other podcasts, whether that's Spotify or the Apples or the YouTube Music, however you're listening. You can always find it on the Clear 99 mobile app, and you can always find it, too, in the On Demand section at clear99.com. My story is it's complete vanity on my part.
Okay.
But I told you I got sucked into a Yellowstone marathon this weekend. One of the episodes, they were celebrating Lloyd's birthday. Lloyd was 58 years old. I'm 58 years old. Back to the vanity, the way I see myself, there's no way I saw me and Lloyd being the same age.
I would have guessed mid-70s.
Well, I looked it up, and Forey J. Smith, or whatever his name is, the actor, is 66 years old.
Okay.
So they were playing him younger, but it was just one of those things that washed over me. I was just sitting there enjoying the show, and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Me and Lloyd are the same age?